Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Star Trek Club. This is I, Captain Logan. There's Brandon Grimm.
Hello, everyone.
And Adam Meredith.
Hello.
We are broadcasting live once again to do a little Star Trek trivia, watch an episode. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I have taken the liberty of just putting the single episodes on the wheel. Last week we did two-parters. This time we're just going to do one. And some weeks I might still put two-parters on the wheel and we can just watch one of them. But tonight I thought we'd just watch a singular episode. Brandon, I realized that I've been making the wheel decide thing too difficult. Every week it turns out that you can actually just copy an entire list from a Word document and just put it in there.
That's nice.
And get them all on the wheel.
I wondered about that.
I've taken 10 minutes typing them all every week because it won't save my wheels. It saves my, well, we've done this 25 times, so not quite that many.
Yes, but, you know, hyperbole.
Yeah. But anyway, well, it's fine. That's why you have a red shirt. That's why you have a red shirt and big giant. Oh, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt. I don't know why. I usually wear a Geekvolution shirt or a Star Trek shirt on this show. I actually brought my shirts down. I was planning on putting one on.
I got another shirt.
Oh, cool. Did you really?
Yes.
Well, let's see what Brandon got me. Look, it's Christmas again here on Star Trek Club. I got, let's see. I'm 92% sure I'm Batman. Oh, my God. That's great.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love this shirt.
I'm getting that shirt 100%.
Thank you. That's like, I'm not a big, like, just words and nothing else on a shirt. That's freaking great. That's very funny. I appreciate that, Brandon. Mine's way better than yours. You bought me a way better shirt than your shirt.
Did you say we've done 25 episodes?
This is our 25th episode. Yes, sir.
Wow, we're a quarter of the way to syndication.
That's not how anniversaries work, Brandon. No, anniversaries are about years. It drives me crazy when people go, like, certain month anniversary. I'm like, what?
Speaking of anniversaries, though,
what that means?
I know I talked to you about this, but Adam, did you know that when we watched the Warp 10 episode, that was the 25th anniversary week for that episode?
Wow.
Yeah, it turned out there were a bunch of articles the very next day after we did that.
Yeah.
That were like, it's the anniversary of this much
maligned,
hated episode, and I was like, what are the odds that we accidentally watched that week? Because we just spun the wheel.
God,
that was not planned.
It makes me feel so old. And I remember watching that when it aired.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like to pretend like when things like that, when happy accidents like that happen, that it was the plan all along. We spun a wheel. I can't even lie about this.
Synchronicity at that point.
Hey, this has nothing to do with Star Trek, but something weird keeps happening with live shows. I just want to mention this here because I think it's amusing, and I'm curious to know from the folks in the comments if it happened tonight. So I keep going back and looking at live shows that we broadcast. This has been happening almost every show for the last 2 weeks, where you can hear me at the beginning of the live show counting down the live show before I start broadcasting. I don't really understand how that works.
Wow.
Like, I know that it's going to the preview thing, so, like, it's there, but I wouldn't think it was recording. And so, like, definitely before I press the button, where I'll be like, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. I press the button. You can hear me see that. How does that happen? It's very strange. So there's like 10 seconds of extra video at the beginning. You get the behind the scenes highlights. It's very strange.
Wow.
That's a highlight, all right.
Adam, how you doing there in the corridor, man? Are you afraid of getting run over by anybody? Or getting, like, stuck in the floor or something? Like, there's all kinds of horrifying things that happen in corridors.
Yeah, or get it torn apart by miners.
Miners, not miners.
Not miners.
That was a Galaxy Quest reference. It's still Star Trek related. All right. Well, you guys ready for a little bit of Standard Replicator?
Absolutely.
Well, let's do it. I got a thing in my captain little brain. But you know what? I'm gonna pick something a little bit easier than that. I actually didn't. I usually write these down. I didn't write anything down. I was just going. I don't know. I'm in an improv mood today. Yeah. There's a thing in my head. I got it in there, and we're gonna start. Okay, that's slightly easier, only slightly though. We'll start with Adam.
If it's as easy as the NX-01, we're sure not to get it.
Just so you know, this one is not. Okay, so everybody watching live right now, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching after the fact. If you're doing that, you guys can participate in the comments during the little game we like to play at the beginning of this. Standard Replicator is basically 20 questions without keeping track of the number, and sometimes that's because these guys are just that good. Sometimes that's not the reason. And we're gonna go
we're just that bad.
round robin. These guys are gonna ask yes or no questions. You guys will get a turn if you're asking things in the comments after a round of these guys asking, and make sure that your questions are related to and keeping in mind everything that's been said already. And we'll give you guys collectively a turn. We're gonna start with Adam and see if you can figure out the thing that's in my brain. It is about pre-New Trek Star Trek. Go ahead, Adam.
Is it alive?
Jason, we will need trivia, pardon me, we will need paper later for trivia. Yes, indeed. It is indeed alive. Yes, sir. Brandon.
Is it a species?
It is not a species. I should do more species, though. Don't do those nearly enough. Let's go back to Adam.
Is it a spaceborne entity?
It is not a spaceborne entity. No. Brandon.
I thought it was going to be the Cloud.
Is it an individual?
And that would be Cloud. Minders, not miners or miners. Sorry, what?
Is it an individual?
I know that's not what you're talking about. It is an individual. Yes, it is an individual. No, Busted Sim, it is not dead. Jason, is it bigger than the Gorn? It is not bigger than the Gorn. Adam.
Is it female?
It is not female.
Is it seen in more than one episode?
No. It is not seen in more than one episode. 559, is it in DS9? It is not in DS9. And we'll go back to
Adam. Is it in Voyager?
It is not in Voyager.
If this line of questioning hadn't already been started, I would have started it. Is it in Next Gen?
It is in Next Gen, yeah. Let's go back to Adam.
Is this person a recurring character?
No.
They're only in one episode. I asked.
Oh, you asked that?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That was asked already, yeah. So you go ahead and ask something else.
Is this person an antagonist?
No, not an antagonist. Brandon, you may want to get a little bit closer. You might be a little too far away from the mic right now.
Okay. Is it...
That got you closer to me, but I don't think it got you any closer to the mic. You might want to come this way. There you go. Anyway, go ahead.
Is this person... Is this person integral to the plot?
That's an interesting question. I would say barely.
Okay.
Barely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing they do that gets things going in the narrative, certainly. But that's all I'll say. Jason, is it in the first season of TNG? No, it is not.
Is it a member of Starfleet?
Yes, it is a member of Starfleet.
Is this person stationed on the Enterprise?
No, not stationed on the Enterprise. Jason, does this get a bad episode of New Trek? That would be redundant if it was true. If it got an episode, it would probably be a bad episode. But no, it does not. Adam.
Let me think here. Is it...
It's gonna drive me crazy. It's fine. Now it's on the floor. It's fine.
Does this person do something that winds up landing them in trouble with Starfleet?
No.
Nothing. Okay.
They're not that integral to the plot.
Is this person at Starfleet Command?
Yeah. Well, I want to say, you know what? I'm actually, now that I say that, I think this person probably primarily usually works from there.
Okay.
But I actually don't know that for sure. And this might give things away too much, but we do see this person in a couple of different places.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason, is it human? It is human.
Wait a second.
Is this person a flag officer of Starfleet, an admiral?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or what? Okay.
They're an admiral. Well, that takes out what I was going to say.
Do you have a guess yet, Mr. Adam?
Is it J.P. Hansen?
It is J.P. Hansen. Yeah, that's who you're looking for. Well done. Good job, sir. Yeah, that's the admiral
that's like one of the few admirals I could...
And the reason I wasn't sure how to answer the command question was because I know he's on a ship that gets destroyed.
Yes.
At Wolf 359. He is on the Melbourne?
Melbourne, I guess.
Is he on the Melbourne?
I don't know if he's on the Melbourne or not.
He's on something that gets blown up.
He's on some Excelsior ship.
I know he dies there. Yeah. But we see him on the Enterprise, and we see him later on a screen on that ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was one of the few admirals that's like memorable, that's not recurring, and that's not a bad admiral.
Yeah, that's right. It's really rare.
Yeah.
Part of the reason he's memorable is just because I've seen him in other stuff and I remember the actor. It's because he played God in Star Trek V, and he played a cryptophrenic in first season Smallville. He's a character actor. He's in a lot of stuff.
I think he's in X-Files too, but I can't remember.
He was in X-Files, but I can't remember the episode either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam, you want to throw one at us? We haven't had you do one in a while.
Oh God, let me think here. I got to think of something good.
And something not crazy. We got a game to get.
All right, I got one.
That sentence was never going to happen.
This one's not too hard.
Okay,
gets to start?
Pretty good.
Yeah, Who gets to start? Because you won that last one. So.
You can start, Jay, but you haven't started.
Okay,
sure. You always give it.
Here we go. Is it technology?
It's not technology.
Brandon.
Is it a species?
It's not a species.
It's not technology. It's not a species. Is it alive?
It is alive.
Okay. And you guys feel free to start throwing in questions anytime you want to. I'm still reading the chat.
Is it a pet?
It's not a pet.
Okay.
So, I want to see how he plays baseball. Just imagine these lobs. Okay, is it an individual?
It is an individual.
Okay, cool.
Is it male?
Is male.
Busted Sim says he will die on the hill that Nechayev is misunderstood. I don't feel like there's enough to go on with Nechayev. Like, I don't know what she's after. It would have been so easy to just, like, retroactively later on say that she was involved in some horrifying conspiracy, or that she was with Section 31 or something, or to make you think that, and then have her be, like, the best, most benevolent, most heroic character in Star Trek.
I think she's just a bureaucrat. That's my position on her.
Yeah, that's certainly what it seems like, especially when we get her in DS9.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Where were we? What was the answer to my question? So
you asked if it was an individual.
It is an individual.
And, I said yes.
And then did we get anything after that?
I asked if it was male.
And it's yes.
It
male.
is male. Okay.
Male individual.
It's a male individual. Is it human?
It is human.
It is human. Okay.
He is human.
Yes. He is Reginon. Darren
he
Root,
is Reginon.
Darren Root also asked if it was human, and that was right. So I guess it's my turn.
Sure.
No, it's your turn. It's your turn. Go ahead. Go ahead. Pardon me. I asked the human question.
Is it Starfleet?
He is not. I don't think he's actually a member of Starfleet.
Okay.
Okay. Is he in a TV show?
Yes.
Is he an Enterprise?
He is not an Enterprise.
Is he in more than one series?
He is not.
Is he in more than one episode?
He is not.
Okay. Is it somebody in TNG?
It is not.
DS9.
Natch.
Nope.
No. Okay. I thought it was.
No.
So it's Voyager then.
Nope.
It's going to be TOS, isn't it? Go ahead, Brandon.
Yep.
So is it TOS? Say yes.
Yes.
Let's get that out.
Yes.
Sorry, I should have said
No,
that.
that's fine. That's the next question anyway.
Is this a black person?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes. I'm so glad I asked that. Is this Richard Daystrom?
Yes, it's Richard Daystrom.
Yes.
You could have answered
You
that.
could have gotten that. Yeah.
The M5 Multitronic computer.
Oh, that's great. I'm very excited about that. Okay, let's go ahead and do tonight's game show. That was really good. We're going to go ahead and do the game tonight, get out something to write on. Brandon, come next time with something. I'll let you do one.
Okay.
But we need to go ahead and get rolling here because it's already 25 after. So tonight we're going to do another quiz, and it's going to be a 20-question quiz. So, well, sort of a 20-question quiz. It's going to be multi-part questions, though. So get your pencil and paper or your phone or a Word document or however in 2021, there are about 6 million different ways to write things down.
But remember, don't use your phone or your computer for cheating.
Because cheating in Star Trek Club is stupid.
It is stupid.
It sure is. Okay, let me go ahead and pull up the display. And you know what? Actually, before we do this, give me a second, guys. I want to see if I can actually put the chat somewhere where I can see it. Because I always do this. I'm going to move it over here.
Ooh.
There we go.
Big
Now
chat.
I can see it. Big chat. All right. So, guys, in the comments, feel free to talk amongst yourselves, but please don't write any answers down, if you would. Don't give anything away to anybody, because everybody is going to want to try to challenge themselves and see how well they can do at this. I'm going to do something that some people really dislike whenever I do, but we did this a lot in the old club, and it's trivia that I have a lot of fun writing, so feel free to not participate if you're not interested in this, but we're going to do an episode title quiz tonight. It's not going to be a quiz where you have to come up with the titles. However, which
That's nice.
Which should make it easier for you guys, I think. I tried to softball most of this, so Adam, you might be bored. But I want to use these things to help folks get better at the trivia, because it's fun and it's cool to know stuff. So tonight we're going to do the 60-point episode title quiz.
Ooh, 60 points.
The 60-point episode title quiz. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to have 20 episode titles, and they're going to be 4 from each series. And you're going to give the following: the series of the episode title, the season it appears in, and a guest star character. Only one guest star character. I picked all episodes where, if you know the episode, it shouldn't be the most impossible thing to come up with the guest star, and some of these will have more than one. No bonus points for extra guest stars, just write one down that they appear in. When we get to the answer key, for some of these I wrote multiples, and all those things will count. So any questions?
No.
Okay, let's go ahead and just get right into it. This will be sort of like a rapid-fire track. I won't go quite as fast as that. And write down each of those things that you can. 20 questions, but 60 possible
And I can't
possible
see
points.
the
Don't write them in the
display.
chat.
Oh, thanks. Because I just realized that I didn't have this set up the way we usually do. Can you see that?
Yes. There we are.
Okay, cool. And the audience should be able to see what we are looking at right now. Let me know if you can't, guys, but you should be good. I'm paranoid about this after last time. Remember that? We went like 3 slides of pictures, and my wife had to come down the stairs. No one can see those pictures. They're flying blind, and the show is boring now. Okay, here we go. Your first episode title
Oh boy.
is Peak Performance.
All right.
Write down the series, the season, and the guest star. Hello, Mr. Roboto. How are you, sir?
Oh, Eric Gonto.
Yeah, I know Busted Sim Adam's not on the screen right now. I can put him in if everybody really wants to see Adam. I'll get him in there. Possibly. Maybe. Eventually.
It's not populating.
It's not. Okay, the next slide is Death Wish. I don't understand why that wasn't one word. I've always wondered that. Had I been writing that, it would have been one word. That's Mikey. Now he's dominating the entire screen. Oh, wait. Now he showed up twice. Look at that.
Whoa.
We just have you in all kinds of places here. Okay, there he is. Next up, remember, series, season, and guest star. By guest star, I mean character. You don't have to know the actor, of course. Just a character name. Realm of Fear. Yeah, Busted Sim. Just thanks for asking for clarification. Just character name. I did write that on that slide, but I didn't say it. Realm of Fear. Yeah, Jerbear, but the more you do it, the more you'll learn more stuff. And one of our favorite things to do in our old club, doing this weekly, was these games. You learn a lot more than you do just by watching episodes. The Maquis. Hey Brandon, the Maquis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren Root, that is my 2-year-old Mikey. He was upstairs screaming. He's in a phase right now. Next up, we have Cold Front. I should start playing music behind these. And then just hope we don't get horribly copyright flagged.
I'm so bad at episode titles. This is...
Sorry, Brandon.
Some of these are just shots in the dark. I'm like, I know this episode title. What the heck episode is it?
Does this give Love a bad name? Oh, that's a shot through the heart. Excuse me. All right, next up, Fury.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember what seasons these are. That's the problem.
Well, Brandon, thanks for being here, man.
Great to have you.
Mm-hmm. I won't do these as often as other things, but we haven't done an episode title thing in a while.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good thing we're doing this.
Conundrum. I also thought it would be amusing just to have Kirk and Spock staring at you the entire time we play this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, you guys should know all this.
Yeah, no matter where you are in front of the screen, they're staring
They're
at
looking
you.
at you, especially Kirk.
Yeah. I'm imagining like a portrait of Kirk hanging in like a real old mansion, and his eyes.
But it's that picture
Yeah.
where he's looking up,
Yeah, exactly.
defiant.
Defiant. That's how Cisco always says it when he's on the turbo lift. Defiant.
Yeah, he loved that word.
Oh, I just spilled the beans, I think, when I said that.
It's all right.
Well, maybe not. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
There's more than one Defiant.
If you're just coming in, thanks for popping in for Star Trek Club. We're just doing some episode title trivia right now. We'll be watching an episode right after this. Oh, you know what? Usually we spin the wheel before we do the game. Forgot to do that tonight. So we'll do that right after this.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
We sure are. Daedalus. I just forgot the order of things. The order of things, Adam. Yeah, folks in the comments saying that they're not having trouble with series at all, but season is difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having trouble with both, but...
Yeah, Jason, I made this one kind of tough. Well, actually, I don't know. If you're really good at episode titles, some of this is kind of softball, but... The alternative factor. An episode I cannot remember the last time I referenced.
Whoops, writing the wrong thing down there. I started writing the episode title that you just said again. I don't know why I did that.
Let's see where we're at on this. One second, guys. Next up is The Muse.
Well, I don't even recognize that title.
The Muse.
And I will give you this, not to be confused with Muse.
With Muse.
There's a couple of instances in Trek of that kind of thing. Emissary is that way. Emissary,
That's what comes to
And
mind.
the Emissary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one is the pilot for DS9, and the other is about Kalar.
Yes.
Flashback.
Or First Contact.
First Contact. Well, yeah,
Well, that's a movie
that's a
and-
different
and
situation, and there's two of those, right? But I was talking
Yeah.
about like an article versus a not article.
Oh,
but
I
yes,
see
there's
what
two
you're saying. Yeah,
instances
yeah.
of that too. You have First Contact,
Yeah.
and First Contact the movie, and then you also have Nemesis and Nemesis. And
Yeah, I
Nemesis is
forgot
an episode
about
from
that.
Voyager from 4 or 5, I believe.
Yes, that's the one where the people talk weird.
But yes, Busted Sim, no, that's not a trick question. I wanted to make sure and point out to you that we're looking for the Muse, not Muse. One is from one series, one is from another series. But Flashback. You know Flashback?
I can't think of it.
Oh, come on, Brandon, you know Flashback?
I should.
Oh, man. I'm thinking Trekish thoughts. trying to get you there.
Trying to flash back to what flashback is.
Busted Sim, that's hilarious. I'm not gonna read that out loud because it might give it away, but that's really funny. The Savage Curtain. Come on, Brandon.
There's more than one guest
You know the
star.
Savage
in this.
Curtain.
There's more than one guest star in this, but do we just need to go with like the main one that everybody remembers?
You can go with any of them you want to.
Okay.
It's totally fine. And that's one where I didn't list any of the rest of them because I know everybody's going to say the one, but you and I, Adam, know
Maybe
what the
I'll
other
be
ones are.
different.
Yeah. Are you going to be the outlier?
Yeah.
Are you going to be contrary, Adam?
Yeah.
Next up, we're looking for what are little girls made of?
I have to do the part when we get to this episode. I have to when this character says their name.
Well, you know what? I would take a couple of answers on that one too. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
I can think of, and I mean, if you really, really know your stuff, there are several episodes here where you might know more than one character. And I don't know, I don't mind using the word star loosely, but you know, if you can think of another character that appeared in an episode, I'll count it. But yeah, there's a couple there. Inside Man, an episode that hardly ever comes up. I based this quiz very much on characters that I thought you'd be able to come up with if you knew what episode we were talking about. And that made a couple things come up that I very rarely think to mention. Darren Root, sugar, spice, and everything nice. Yeah, that's what little girls are made of. But we're not talking about Powerpuff Girls. And next up, although I'd love to do a Powerpuff Girls club, Sword of Kalis.
The Sword of Kalis.
No, not that pronunciation of Kalis. Kalis.
Kalis.
In New Trek, Klingons are just born without teeth. Let's see, where are we here? Looks like we've got four more.
That
Four more.
episode is not good. I watched that again.
Oh, it's
recently.
terrible.
It doesn't make any sense why they're acting like they do. And I have no idea. They
It's
don't even explain it.
No, they don't. It's really they get all out of character, and it looks like a mystery, and then it's not
It's
really.
just dropped. It was just them acting like jerks.
Yeah, it's awful. And most of the Klingon stuff in that show, pretty decent.
Right.
Next up, Awakening, which I spelled all messed up, but it's a look at that. Look at that.
Hawkening.
Awakening. Awakening.
Caning.
Walter
Caning.
Koenig.
Walter Awakening.
Awakening. There we go. I fixed it. That's what I get for writing a quiz while I'm watching Friends. Awakening.
Nobody told you life was going to be this way. They didn't.
But then later in the song, your mom said there'd be days like these. But no one told you life was going to be this way. But your mom said there would be days like these. Galaxy's Child.
I'm not doing good on some of the characters.
I
on
forgot
some
what
of
he wrote
these.
40 seconds ago. Oh, thanks, Tom. Tom just asked for Magnificent Ferengi. I think that one is already in there, but I'll double check and make sure. I will double check for you.
If I score more than a 0 on this quiz,
You're gonna be an excited guy.
I'll be a little excited.
Ferengi Love Songs is in here. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I'm not seeing it. Are you, Brandon?
What's that?
Okay, good. No, we're good. So, no, it's fine. Carry on. Magnificent Ferengi just went on the list. I don't know if I'll put it on the wheel or just add it next time. Actually, with this new setup, I'm not sure how I want to handle that. Okay, next up, we need... Whoa. Adam's flipping out. Assignment
All right.
Earth!
What's going on?
Oh, I better get this
God.
one.
Yeah.
Well, I may not know the season, but
Yeah, Busted Sim, DJ and I have been talking about doing a Friends marathon on the channel at some point for anybody who cares about that. That might be fun.
I hope this is the one I'm thinking it is.
You just made a big deal about it being it.
Well, I hope that it is, because if I'm wrong, then I don't know what
Then
I'm
he
doing
gets
here.
0 points.
We take them all.
Um,
Oh
Shadows of Pajem should be the last one.
my god.
Yeah, that's the last one.
But my best guess is my worst guess.
That sounds profound somehow. I don't know.
No, but it's so stupid.
Okay, Adam, how do you feel you did, man?
Good. Was that 19 or was that 20?
I wasn't actually counting. It should have been 20, unless I missed one somewhere.
Maybe, how many you have, Brandon?
20.
He's got 20.
I must have missed one somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, Spaghetti-O.
Sorry, man. We'll have to see.
I'll have to see, yeah.
When
Get there
all
in
of
the
a sudden
answer
your
key.
answers go from being right to wrong,
Yeah.
you'll know.
Well, he'll be able to tell which is which because he's got the guest stars listed, so he doesn't need numbers. Like he'll know which one matches with what.
I can
Well,
kind
yeah.
of remember, yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and go through the answer key now. See how you guys did. 60 possible points. Let's see if anybody got even half. Here we go. I'm sure Adam did a lot better than that. But this is this is tougher if you're not used to speaking episode title. Let's run through them. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it, man. He said nice mix of episodes. Jason said I wrote 11 series. I was only doing series. Well, you could have guessed seasons. You could have guessed them.
I definitely guessed.
Busted Sim said 22. Did I do 2 extra episodes? You must have. There's only 20. Yeah, I picked 4 of each. All right, here we go through the answer key. Hopefully they all got in the answer key. Let me know if I'm missing something. But here we go. First was Peak Performance, and that is TNG Season 2. And the guest star there was the Zach Dorn named Kohlrami.
So I put TNG Season 3 Kohlrami.
Yep, that's 2.
Yeah.
You can remember that because Pulaski's there.
Oh my
And
god,
she's-
of course.
And she has all the
I feel so stupid.
the irritating, like, is data person thing.
That's
yeah.
like the
Lost.
last regular episode of the that season before Shades of Grey.
Yep.
Man, I should have known it was Season 2.
Death Wish is also from a season 2 from Voyager. Guest star there is the Q named Quinn. One of my favorite Voyager episodes. Maybe my top 10.
I had Voyager Season 4, Q.
No. Well, Q is also a guest star.
Yes, but
That's fair.
it's
You
season-
could have said Q as well.
Yes.
Naturally.
But I
No,
got
much
the
earlier
season
than that.
wrong.
Well. No, and I was thinking that as 3. In fact, I wrote 3 down for a second and was like, wait a minute, no, it's 2. I always think that that's later. Maybe because it's so good. I don't know. Realm of Fear was a season 16 G episode, and of course that is the Barclay episode about his not liking the transporter. And
yeah.
the transporter psychosis
Oh.
episode is Realm of Fear.
We watched that recently, didn't we?
Did we do it in club? No.
I think we did.
No.
I thought we did in club.
No, we watched Hollow Pursuits. We've
I
not
thought
done
we
the-
watched Realm of Fear, but you talked about how it didn't make any sense how he was conscious in the
It
transporter.
comes up a lot, but we've not actually watched
Oh,
it. I don't
okay.
We
believe.
haven't done it in this iteration.
He's talking about here. We've not done that yet.
Oh, I must be
Maquis.
going crazy.
Surely, Adam got this. DS9 season 2, a 2-part cliffhanger episode with
Cal Hudson.
Captain Cal Hudson. Yeah, it looks like Al Hudson because of where I have here.
Cal Hudson.
Yeah,
So I had the last one I had completely wrong. This one
I'm gonna
I had
make us a little
DS9
smaller here.
Season 5. That was a
well,
shot.
at least
in
you
the
got
dark on-
DS9.
I knew it was DS9, but I just didn't have any clue on a season or a.
So
Guest
the
star.
way to remember at least that's earlier is it can't be as late as 5 because you have to introduce the Maquis before they can be in Voyager, and that is the episode that does that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always forget how much Voyager and DS9 overlap.
Well, the Maquis were invented to be in Voyager, and they were introduced in Deep Space Nine so that it was already a canonical thing we're dealing with before we get
Yeah.
there. So it has to be early.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
they brought them in Deep Space Nine, and then later that same year, they had another episode. That penultimate episode of TNG also deals with them, just to tie it all together,
That
kind
roll
of
episode.
together.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which was called
preemptive
There
strike.
it is. Thank you. Cold Front is from the first season of Enterprise. That
I
is
don't remember who the hell is in it.
introduction to Crewman Daniels. And Cillian is also
Daniels.
there. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I say introduction.
Oh.
It's the introduction to the fact that he's a time traveler. I want to say he's in the background in some places before that, but I could be wrong.
And I thought that was season 2 for some reason. I don't know why. I
Nope.
put that.
It has to, of course, predate Shockwave, which I almost
That's
put in there,
right.
and probably should have, because that would have been easier, but it didn't. Fury is the awful season 6 episode of Voyager where Cass is the villain. What are you gonna say?
I actually had Enterprise and Daniels, but I said season
Oh, good
3.
job. Well, that's cool that you got Daniels, though.
Yeah,
well
I got
done.
Daniels.
Yes,
Crewman Daniels.
Cass was all pissed. I never understood.
I'm actually impressed that you
What
had
was
that.
she
That's great.
supposed? What was Janeway supposed to do?
I don't know. What
Was
is
she
angry
supposed to
about?
keep you on the ship,
So I,
Cass?
ga- so I
For you to
gave,
blow
so I
it up
gave you
and
this
kill everyone?
gift. So I leave in an episode called The Gift, and
It was a
after
curse.
giving you that gift, I became very angry at you for letting me leave, and then came back
Yeah.
and tried to murder you with all my superpowers.
It wasn't
I
a
had
gift.
Voyager
It was a
3
curse.
cast.
After I got the gift of No, you're thinking Warlord. Okay.
That episode's so bad.
Next up, Conundrum is from
Warlord.
TNG season 5 with Commander Macduff.
I had
Yes.
TNG season 4. Period.
That part when they shoot that guy is great. When his like face go, or you like see what's underneath him.
That's great. I love that. And of course, that's not his actual name, but who knows what it is?
Who knows?
He's
who
an
it is.
alien guy.
It's probably like something like "Rah, rah, rah, rah," because that's what he sounds like. He looks
Are
like
you
somebody who would
Scrooge
speak
McDuff
like that.
now?
Scrooge McDuff.
Scrooge McDuff.
Defiant is from the third season of DS9, which is the second appearance of Thomas Riker.
Yeah.
That's who we're looking for there.
Oh, I put DS9 season 3.
Good job. But you didn't
But I
remember that
didn't
was the
get,
Riker episode.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a Riker
Mhm.
episode.
Okay. And then Daedalus is the episode that brings in the inventor of the transporter, Emery Erickson, in the
Oh.
fourth season of
The
Enterprise.
knockoff of the Ultimate Computer, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. And the only other, yeah, it really is in a lot of ways. The only other thing I've ever seen that actor in, he was a character actor. He's in Demolition Man.
Oh, really?
Is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
he runs the police department in Demolition Man.
Oh, I love that movie.
I knew that was season 4, but I couldn't. And it was Enterprise. I couldn't
You couldn't
remember.
which one it was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of.
Oh wait. No, sorry. I thought that was the one I left off, but no, that's there.
one of only like 3 or 4 single episodes from season 4, because most of them are 3-parters, and there's a couple 2-parters. So you have Daedalus, you have Home, and you have Observer Effect, and I think that's the only 3 that are single episodes, with the exception of These Are the Voyages, which is kind of ironic because usually series enders are 2-parters, and it's also terrible. The alternative factor is from the first season of TOS with
Yes.
Lazarus. What of
What
Lazarus?
of Lazarus? What of
Who
Lazarus?
cares?
I had season 2.
And it's very early too. I think that's like the 9th or 10th episode.
That's the worst episode of that season.
It's one of the worst episodes of the series. I can't look at
I
it.
don't think I've seen that one.
It just is so padded. It takes
What In fact, that is one of the only episodes of anything that I would recommend watching on a phone. Because it gives me motion sickness. I can't look at it. Okay.
Oh, when the thing is spinning.
I got like ill the first time I saw that episode. The Muse is the Laxana Troy episode from season 4 of Deep Space Nine.
The DS9 season 6. Period.
She's in a subplot in that episode.
Is that the one with
Was
the
that the one
Ferengi?
with Jake and the woman?
Yes.
I was thinking Jake and that woman, and I'm like, I don't know who the hell that lady's name is.
I don't know her name either, but Laxana Troy has a subplot, and that
that was a B story.
Yeah, well, the B story was she's basically doing the Sarek thing on accident, where she's messing with everybody's emotions. I think that's that same episode.
No, that's a different one.
Is that a different episode?
That's
Oh, I thought it was
that's
the
the
same
one where
one.
everybody's having romance and stuff.
Oh, you know what? That is a different episode. Yeah,
This
yeah,
must
you're
be
right.
the one with Michael and Sarah where she's getting married.
Oh, maybe that is that one.
Maybe it's that one.
Maybe so. Yeah. Okay, I remembered she was in that. I did not remember what the subplot was. Clearly, I was wrong about that. Okay, I just think it's really funny that we gave Troy like sort of Midnight Syndrome without killing her. Flashback is the big anniversary episode that does Sulu in sort of flashbacks in Mind Melds,
Is this 12?
and that's season 3. I don't know. I don't have numbers.
I don't have numbers either.
This must be the one I missed. Flashback.
Oh, you didn't get flashback? You just missed it.
No,
when you
because
did
I forgot that's the one I accidentally left off of my.
Oops.
Yeah.
You would have known that. It's a mulligan.
Yeah, I would have gotten that.
Savage Curtain. Is
I was
third
trying to
season
remember
of
that
TOS.
lady's name.
Most people are going to say Abraham Lincoln. That is also the episode that first brings up Colonel Green, and it gives us Kahless
And Surak.
and Surat. Yeah,
Yeah, I put Surak.
you
I
put
said
Surak. Yeah.
TOS season 3, but I didn't know that episode, so I put Trelane. I knew that was
And
wrong.
I, in fact, did not. Okay, I, in fact, at least you got TOS. I did not do this
In
on
season
purpose, but believe it or not, there will be another episode later where you also could have said Surak.
Yeah.
There are 2 episodes on this list of 20 where you could have said Surak. That's crazy. What Are Little Girls Made Of is the TOS season 1 episode with Roger Corby, one of my favorite episodes
Yes.
of that season.
I am Roger Corby.
You also could have said Ruck. That
And
was the other character I
Andrea.
thought of. Oh, sure, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Rock.
Inside Man is the kind of god-awful season 7 Voyager episode with Barkley as a retooled hologram sent by Ferengi.
Oh yeah. Is that the one that has? Is Troy in that episode too, or not?
I
don't
think
think she
she's
is.
in that one.
Maybe she is.
I'm pretty sure she is. Yeah, because you have that hologram, but I think we also have a subplot with. Is that the one where they're on the beach?
I
Maybe
think that is the one where they're on the beach.
There's
Yeah.
one more on. They're on the beach. I haven't watched season 7 in a long time because why? Awakening is the other episode where you could have said Surak. But if you remembered that episode, you're much more likely to say T'Pau. That is the, I believe, introduction to the young version of T'Pau that we get in Enterprise season 4 in the middle of the three-parter with the Vulcans that begins with an episode called The Forge. And then Galaxy's Child was the introduction of Leia Brahms as a hologram, not the actual Leia Brahms, but she was the guest star character there, and that is in season 4 again of TNG.
Did we skip the sword of Kahless?
We may have. I might have missed the slide.
Okay.
If we did, we'll go back and talk about where that is. I believe that's season 5. I think is where that lands. Am I right?
No, it's season 4, but I just watched it with Stephanie.
Well, you said you watched
We're
it.
on
Yeah, it's season 4. Okay,
yeah.
I just couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I mess up DS9 seasons sometimes with some of those. Assignment Earth is the season 2 TOS episode with Gary Seven.
I got it right.
Did you get Gary
Yeah.
Seven?
I got all 3 of
Oh,
them.
good job. Cool.
Yeah.
You also could have said ISIS.
Yeah, TOS 2 Gary 7.
Mm-hmm.
I got one right.
Her name was
And,
ISIS, right?
What was Terry? Yeah, and then what was Terry Garr's character's name? I can't think of her name now.
Oh, you know what? I usually have this. What is it? I can't do ladies
Roberta
in TOS
Lincoln.
today. Roberta Lincoln. That's it.
Yeah.
Shadows of Pajem was the second Shran episode. Saval is also in that episode. It's first season Enterprise. He is introduced in an episode called The Andorian Incident, but I thought that would be too easy, so I went with Shadows of Pajem, and that's it. So yeah, we missed sort of Kahless.
I got a 5%.
And so, Sword of Kalis, was in, and hopefully that's the only one we missed. But yeah, that's season 4. That included Core. That's the character we would have been looking for there. He's tallying. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I missed a slide. They soured the milk. Yep. They soured the milk. After Adam figures out his score, we will spin the wheel and find out what we're watching tonight. Then we'll take a break.
I think I got 50 out of 60.
Good job, man. That's great. You should have gotten 53, though, because you missed a whole slide. Would you have gotten the season on that for Flashback?
Flashback is season 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't get the Enterprise people, the guest stars. That was my weak spot.
Is that the weakness? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget that episode was called Cold Front. I always liked that one, but I always forget what the title is.
It makes me think of the other episode. Isn't there what?
Breaking the Ice.
Or there's another Cold Station.
Cold Station
12. Yeah, I always get that.
That is in the middle of the Augment arc.
Cold Station.
Augment arc.
Probably the most violent episode in that show, or at least the most intense, with that torture scene.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's that episode, right?
I think so.
With Jeremy Lucas.
Yeah.
Well, that's all coming back to me. Okay, let's go ahead and spin the wheel, folks.
Do it.
So put a bunch of, you know what, I'm going to put that other episode that just came up on the wheel since it came in ahead of time. Might as well. Magnificent Ferengi. So that is possible.
I love that one.
Oh, of course. That one's wonderful.
Is that the Grand Nagus?
Well,
it's
yeah.
the one with Iggy Pop.
But it's the one with Iggy Pop, yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and find out what we are watching this evening, and then we will take a break. Here we go.
Watch it pick the one you just put on there.
Round and round it goes.
It does.
Someone to watch over me. I want to say we didn't already do this, right?
Jason put that on the
Jason
wheel.
just put that on recently, yeah.
Recently.
This is, I'm not ashamed to say, one of my favorite episodes of Voyager. I really like this one. I don't like that we didn't follow up on it right, but I've always kind of liked this one. So tonight, we're going to do one of the romance episodes of Voyager, kind of. And that'll be fun to talk over. I actually know that one pretty well, so I'm looking forward to that. How many possible episodes, says Jimmy77? I would have to count, but there's at least 25 or 30 on the wheel right now, maybe more. If you, and your name I don't recognize, thanks for being here. If you want to put an episode on the wheel, you just have to put in a super chat in any dollar amount, $1 or $2, we'll get you there. And you can request anything that we've not done yet, and you won't know that, and I don't have a master list made right now, so if you ask for something, if anybody, I'm just talking to the audience right now, if anybody asks for something that we've done already, I will let you just pick something else that we haven't done yet. So there's still plenty to choose from. 705 episodes of pre-New Trek Star Trek. What were you saying there, Mr. Adam?
It's season 5, right, of Voyager?
I think that's right, yeah.
Okay, there it is. It's episode 21.
Episode 21. Thank you for doing that. Episode 21 of season 5.
It's the episode before 11:59. I hate 11:59.
Oh, 11:59 is the worst. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's pretty. It's
really
pretty
bad.
terrible.
Which one is 11:59?
It's the one that just has
the Y2K episode.
Pointless. It's the Y2K episode. It's completely pointless.
Yeah, it's really
Janeway's thinking about her ancestor, and then like.
And there's not a story.
Yes.
There's no plot in that episode.
There's no plot
for our characters. It's the whole thing.
It's got Brian Dennehy in it, I think.
Just a Janeway ancestor, who is on the cusp of the year 2000.
Isn't who she thought she was.
Trying to save.
She's trying to stop a book.
Store from getting plowed down to build something.
A mall.
The Millennium,
the Millennium Gate is the whole
a mixed-use development, as they say.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay.
Which the Millennium Gate kind of resembles that thing on Seven's face when it comes out of her when she's dreaming and it comes out of her face.
I don't know what
that is. Jason's excited. because he got his episode. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a 5-minute break. So if you guys in the comments are sticking around and see if anybody popping in wondering what's going on, just let them know that we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back, and look, there's Jason.
There's me.
Jason is down here with us because this is, he says, his favorite episode of Voyager. Now, I knew you liked this episode. I didn't know it was your favorite.
It is.
Why do you like this one so much, Jason?
Cause it's a 7 episode, and it's a pretty good 7 episode.
Jason just wrote, look, there's me. It is a pretty good 7 episode. And, of course, you've not seen all of Voyager, so there might be some things that would surpass this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get right into it, guys. Season 5, Episode 21. Get it to timestamp 0, however you're watching it. And if you're not able to get it going before we start, feel free to ask for a timestamp, and I or somebody else in the comments will be happy to help you out with that. Here we go. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Everybody, please press play right now.
Awesome.
One of the things I've always really appreciated about Star Trek, about 90s Star Trek, is its love for jazz. I am a bit of a jazz fan myself. This was my first introduction to this song, Someone to Watch Over Me, which is a standard and a great kind of lounge piano song. This is our second Voyager episode in 3 weeks. Because last week we did Menagerie, and then the week before we had to watch everybody's favorite Voyager episode, Threshold.
We had to watch.
Threshold.
We're lucky we survived
The
it.
What'd you think of that, Jason?
It's so weird.
Who are the Kadi? I don't even remember what they look like.
I bet we don't even see them. I bet that's just one of those races they're talking about, and we don't actually see.
She's watching us again.
Oh, oops, hold on.
You're imagining things.
I wonder why
think
Neelix's
so.
open flame
Alana.
stuff doesn't set off the fire thing ever.
Probably
Well, I guess
Alana
they have
fire.
candles.
I would assume they change it for the galley.
Fire suppression
You never know.
That is a nitpicky thing. Yeah, Busted Sim, we've already started.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
Someone to
she's
Watch
doing
Over Me
the
was in the 90s
two-pad
Flash
thing.
series HBO Haga? I don't remember that. That's cool. I have meant to do a rewind on that series for a long time. I've not, or at least the pilot. So, Jason, do you remember what happens in this?
I remember the side plot.
The side plot?
Yeah, I
mean,
remember that.
I mean, there's, I don't know that there. Oh, you know what? There is a side plot in this. So wait, you don't
Well,
remember the
no, no, no.
Seven trying to date
No,
thing as
no,
much as
no.
you remember the
No, it
Neelix
says-
trying to get
no,
that
it says
guy?
that- no, it's not the
That's
Neelix
this episode,
thing.
right?
Yeah, it apparently.
Oh wait,
this
no, we
is
do
the
see
side
them.
plot.
We do see them because the Kadi is that guy that comes on and he wants to experience everything and
I
try
thought
all
the
the
Kadi
Earth
thing was
food
the main
and all
plot.
that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would call that the B story, given
the
that
B
the episode
story.
is called "Someone to Watch Over Me," and it's. I think they're expecting the audience to care more about the 7 of 9 plot than they are the Neelix plot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's kind of addressing the elephant in the room, which is. When you have a character that was clearly at least partially cast for her looks, when are we finally going to do any romance drama with her? And that's kind of, this is one of those token episodes that's like, we've kind of avoided this for a lot of this time. Let's finally do an episode about it. And what I like about that is that it's as classy as it is about it, and that it doesn't like force her into a relationship with someone that that she doesn't really go with, and that we're gonna like, you know, do kind of the sitcom thing where she's, because this is what I expected when the show was on. We do sort of a sitcom thing where she'd date like Harry Kim or something for like 5 episodes, and then it'd be a whole, you know, will they, won't they thing, and then finally is, that didn't work, and then, you know, they're not compatible, and then they leave. What's up?
People
This
want
is the-
timestamps.
This is the episode with the promo. I remember this episode
Yeah, I
where they're
remember that
just
too.
like, Seven's dating now. And
We're at
it's
about
just like, "Take off your
3:35,
clothes."
guys.
Do you remember this?
Oh yes, no, I know. It's great. But what's unfortunate about this episode is that it sets up the the potential for a Dr. Seven relationship that I think people were already kind of interested in before this.
Yeah.
As he's giving her social lessons. There's a lot of good reasons to put those two characters together. They have a surprising amount in common. They're both very human, but not. She is a human who was raised more as a machine, and he is a machine that thinks of himself very much more as a human. The way they mirror each other and the way they are very much alike is really interesting. And they just have a lot of chemistry.
I don't understand how you're missing a Pip. I guess maybe it could have fallen off. I don't know.
Well, only if she was, like, exercising in that suit or something. Like,
Yeah.
you never see a Pip fall off when you're, like, running or... I don't know.
Yeah, they seem to stay on every other time.
Yeah. Well, they have futuristic magnetism technology that just
Yeah,
everything sticks.
they just stick them on.
So I would
because
assume it
remember
didn't pop off. I would assume it's like when you put your uniform on, you have to put them on. So they're just treating it like... And Voyager has this problem all the time, where it acts like everybody lives like they do in the 20th century, except for all the ways in which they don't. So, like, you know, that happens, but you have a sonic shower. You can replicate things, be the slave over the replicator, you know, all that nonsense.
Yes.
I would think that there would be no reason for your Pips not to just be on your uniform all the
Be
time.
on there all the time.
Like they should be
No, but then you
replicated
can't
as
have a
part of
scene
it.
like in 30 Days when she cashiers Tom Paris and pulls the Pip off of his collar unnecessarily.
So I'm gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
This guy on the right is an actor named Ian
Abercrombie.
Abercrombie. Thank you. And that is the guy we've been watching through the series, Jason and I. That is the guy who plays Alfred in Birds of Prey.
Ah.
What?
That
He
is who
also
that
plays.
is.
He also plays Mr. Pitt on Seinfeld.
There he is.
The guy
Oh.
Elaine worked.
Wow.
I don't know who that guy is though.
I
yeah.
don't know who
Yeah,
that guy is.
definitely. He's definitely Alfred.
Yes, Neelix,
This would have
yes.
been 3 years before he was on that show.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, besides the fact that he's kicked up in makeup, he's going to look very similar. And he died maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing a thing about him dying.
So why is Neelix so nervous about this when it's just Neelix's nature to be like a good host? And I mean, I know a lot's weighing on him for the Voyager crew and these minerals, but I feel like it should be second nature.
Yeah, he maybe shouldn't be as nervous as he's being. I agree with that. It's almost like he's read the script and he knows this is going to be difficult.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, this stuff's kind of irritating. The way it ends is a little fun, I guess. I will say it's Neelix some of his least irritating. Like, it's not a great plot, but he's not. I think it's just because they paired him with somebody that is more annoying than he is. I think that's why that happens.
Yeah.
He reminds me of some sort of a Dr. Seuss character with his hood thing. Like,
That's great.
Oh, apparently he was also.
Oh, that is who it is. So the guy that's playing the jerk is Scott Thompson from The Kids in the Hall.
Oh, you know what? I knew I recognized him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did he do a lot of character actor work after Kids in the Hall?
I don't know, but I'm not certain, but
How long did that show even go? Did it go into the mid-90s, or did it get canceled earlier than
I
that?
think it was like 4 seasons maybe, I want to say.
Okay. I watched that when I was a kid, but I've not seen any of that in probably 20
Let me look.
years or more.
It was 5 seasons.
When did it start? Was that like 90?
1988 to 1995. So it was one of these
Oh, it was
sporadic
one of them, okay.
things, you
Oh,
know.
but they canceled it for a while and brought it back like Futurama.
I think that kind of a thing happened, yeah. Or
See,
it,
I didn't even know it started as early as 88 because I was watching it when I was 9 or 10,
yeah.
which was probably like wildly inappropriate. But it was that was on Comedy Central all the
Comedy
time.
Central all the time. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure some of those other people maybe appeared in Star Trek. I can't remember who.
Oh, interesting. You
Dave
saw that all the
Foley or
time,
somebody.
and you saw the original British Who's Line all the time. Those two shows.
Yes, yes, that guy
constantly.
and that other guy, yeah. the not Drew Carey guy hosting it. I can't remember his name.
My favorite part about this scene is where he's explaining mating rituals and how species copulate, and he just starts doing this at one point, and it's amazing.
Were those Klingons recognizable at all?
Why would you even know how they mate?
I don't
How
know.
would you even know that?
We're making it even worse after In the Flash.
Yes.
And if you guys were
Which
with us on that episode, you remember how much we love In the Flash.
Yes. In the Flesh with the infamous line, "It's Pon Far night at the Vulcan nightclub."
Remember that? Cinematographic, the way Voyager has ambassadors is that they took an alien guy that came with them in the first episode, and they went, he is useless and makes terrible food nobody likes. Let's make him an ambassador. They just call him that, and they let him do ambassador things. He's not an official Starfleet. There he goes. Yeah, the doctor. She says she's familiar with sexuality. He doesn't know that she tried to jump Harry Kim that one time, like right when she first came on board.
Yeah.
Remember that infamous moment where she goes, "Take off your clothes"?
That was in that promo of that episode too. It was like Seven's ready to mate.
They laid it on so thick because they knew that's why people were tuning in. But the show was actually better than that, surprisingly. It's like it just put her in a cat suit and made her the sex symbol, but it never did stories like that. Like they would tease it.
Yeah. And I think that's when she was wearing that horrible silver one too.
Yeah, it was. And then she ends. See, the silver one's weird because I don't like it in practice, but in stills it looks cool.
You like the production still, yeah.
Yeah.
The famous of when she first was introduced.
Because I've got a cardboard standee of her in my Star Trek area down here, and it's that really famous silver suit.
Yeah, that production still, yeah.
Yeah, the publicity photos.
Yeah.
And mine's signed. I didn't meet her, but I found that at a con where she'd signed it.
Who's that alien in the background?
Look at that
Some
weird-looking
guy with a head. I don't know.
Alien looking dude.
Okay,
Trying
and
to
then
hack-
this guy is Arthur from the 2001 Tick series from the Patrick Warburton show.
Oh, really?
Nice.
But she just scares the hell out of him here.
I've been wanting to do a commentary on this forever, partly just because of guest stars that were in. And the big thing that he and Ian Abercrombie both have in common is that within a year of each other, they were both in really short-lived shows based on comics that got canceled that I was obsessed with in high school.
Ah.
Tick and Birds of Prey. But you may call me 7 of 9.
I've seen this guy in other stuff. I don't remember what, though.
He's a good actor. If you've not watched the Warburton show, you should. It's great. It's a lot of fun. And it's only 9 episodes, so you can do it in an evening.
Pretty fast. So is this the first time since, like, season 2 that we've seen Sandrines?
You're right. We never go here anymore because have we done Fairhaven yet? Is that why we're
No,
here
this
yet?
is
Or that
Fairhaven
later?
is later.
But
I think
doesn't
Fairhaven's
makes an appearance in
6.
Shattered.
Season 6. I mean,
Well, yeah, but Shattered's jumping. What's your point? That's jumping around time, bringing
Well,
back all
that's-
kinds of random things from earlier seasons. Like,
Yes, that's true.
what's your point?
Or it just shows up again.
Yeah, and that's after this. We're trying to figure out if they use it much before this.
Did they use this place before they used that weird resort place that they used to go to and stuff?
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to remember. I think that's what kind of
Yeah.
took over. That was in Death Wish, and that might have been its first appearance. I'm not sure, but they used it in. I think we watched this one in Club, right? They used it in that episode where the Doctor went crazy because he integrated too many personalities from in there.
Yeah. They also use it in the one. That's where what's his name, Vorik, the Vulcan, when the Doctor tries to set him up for somebody to have Pon Far with and stuff.
Yeah.
He does it at that point.
Is that because it was Pon Far Night at the Vulcan nightclub?
Pon Far night at the Vulcan nightclub.
See, sometimes they'll try lines like that, and I'll just like shake my head. And then sometimes they land okay. Like, I still like BYOB, Bring Your Own Batleth. I still like that. I forget what episode that is, but that one's fun. Blessed Sim, I miss the days when Trek would try and sell itself as sexy, but then would be written really well. I guess the network finally got its wish. Yeah, now we just don't do either.
That's nice. Our small talk is terminated.
It's fun, of course. This maybe goes without saying, watching the Doctor try to give Seven social lessons, because he still sort of needs them himself to some degree, but he has been around the block a lot more than she has. He has actually dated at this point, and moderately successfully, with Denara Pell. And like, this is a really good way to kind of acclimate a new character to this world. I mean, we've been here for... We've had her on the show for over a year now, but I like that she's not just figured everything out already, and not just because she's a newer character, but also because, of course, she was raised by the Borg.
Right.
And the Doctor very much feels like a character that has been evolving and changing throughout the show, kind of like Data, only I would argue that his change is actually more natural and gradual even than Data's was.
Yeah, because he has more, he had emotions, basically, that he was programmed with, more than, unlike Data. I think that was probably one of the reasons why he was able to integrate better.
But I also think that you can track, for the character, but
character.
But, like, for the, for like, how well the show is actually handling things, I think, that's the one thing that they've almost got over TNG a little bit for me. I like Data a lot, don't get me wrong. I can track the Doctor's progress.
He's
like social progress.
He's doing a snack.
Data kind of
seems to be evaporating in my mouth.
Right. I would say Data kind of plateaus after the first couple of seasons of TNG almost, and as how he's developing and stuff,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the quality of serialized storytelling, that's a thing that they actually nail better.
Yeah.
And then, but we have this a lot with this era of Star Trek, where new shows will go back to an old concept and kind of improve on it. Because I and other folks like SF Debris have always said that Phlox is basically what Neelix was supposed to be. And so we reinvented that character and gave him a better role and made him, less irritating. And I'm not saying the Doctor is a better concept or even overall necessarily a better character than Data, but we treat that character in TNG like he has been naturally progressing, and I don't think that that's as true as it is here. This is one of my favorite scenes with these guys together. I don't know what it is about the Doctor teaching her how to sing, but it's a lot of fun. I've always really liked it.
So you're saying you like it better than the singing scene in Insurrection?
Well, yes, of course. Because this is teaching a character how to be more of a person and less of a machine, and that was just a distraction to get a robot to stop shooting at us.
Oh man, when they bring back You Are My Sunshine later on, it's very kind of creepy.
Oh yes, it is, and that is, you're right, and that is a callback to this. Yes. No, that's messed up. That's an Equinox.
Yes.
Now,
oh man, when they delete the Doctor's ethical subroutines.
Oh, they have a callback to this in Equinox. I forgot about that.
They delete the Doctor's ethical subroutines,
and then he's
about
torturing
to operate
her.
On her. Yeah.
Oh,
or actually, not he's about to lobotomize her.
Yeah.
That's a messed up
to get
thing.
her cortical processor or something. I forget what exactly they're doing. Mercer Create, $2 super chat. Good to see you. Looking forward to Orville season 3. Me too. Thanks a lot for the super chat. And we've talked about this. We might eventually cover some Orville here on this show. I'm sure we'll tick off new Trek fans by doing that show and not any new Trek. I'm not saying we'll never ever watch an episode of that in this club, but we're never gonna integrate trivia and stuff from that. I don't think.
Yeah. Hard.
And if we do, it will be just to further drive home how some of us feel about that show. I don't want to speak for everybody here, but...
I mean, at the very least, though, we did do the new movies, and we still have one movie to go.
Yeah, because they're
So when is that Orville season 3 actually... Do they have a set date yet for it or anything?
I don't think they're even finished with it. Mercer Create, with that super chat, you can put an episode on the wheel if you'd like. So don't put in another super chat for that. Just put in a comment and I'll see it. if you would like to do that. Up to you. Busted Sim, $2 Canadian Super Chat. That scene reminded me of Liaisons from TNG Season 7. I don't remember that episode. Liaisons.
Isn't it Lessons? The
You're talking
music
about
scene in
Liaisons
Lessons?
is an episode
Maybe
of
that's.
TNG, but I don't remember what happens in that. Right? Isn't it? I'm pretty sure there's an
Is
episode
Lessons
think
the
called that.
so.
one where they're
Liaisons.
Yes,
is,
Lessons is the piano episode, and that's probably what you're talking about. But they wrote Liaisons, and I think that is also an episode.
Oh, Liaisons is the episode I hate from TNG Season 7. That is with. I actually was thinking about this earlier. That's what the ambassadors from those planets just act like jerks for no reason.
That's what, yeah. He actually is talking about that and not Lessons, yep.
Yeah, that does remind me of that.
But that's weird. This is sort of Lessons and Liaisons, but I mean, not really. It's Lessons if they didn't actually end up dating by the end.
That's personally my least favorite episode of Season 7.
Liaisons, yeah, I mean, it's bad.
I'd honestly rather watch Sub Rosa than that because Sub Rosa is at least ridiculously fun. Liaisons is
Mercer
just
Create
stupid.
wants the high ground just for Geordi's double it line.
Didn't we just talk about the high ground the other day?
You and I did.
Yeah, we were just talking about.
Because that was a banned episode.
It's not a very
overseas.
good episode, but
Oh, that article you sent me drove me crazy. It was like,
Oh, it
this
did?
classic TNG episode
oh,
was
they
banned overseas.
yeah, I didn't even notice they phrased it like that. Yeah,
The
I didn't
high
even read it
ground.
that
Everyone
closely.
hates the high ground. What
Yeah,
are you talking
I
about?
skimmed it.
You clearly have never seen one episode of Star Trek when you say that.
Yeah.
It's
It was
classic.
something that
I'm
popped
gonna
up
say
on my
that for
Facebook.
clickbait.
Yeah, it was clickbait. It popped up on my Facebook, but they got me.
Oh,
They
not
got my
the
click.
high ground. The hunted. The hunted is the episode that
What
has
is the
that line.
hunted?
Well, thank you for sparing us from the high ground, but we're still gonna have to watch it at some point, assuming
The
we
high
keep
ground
this
at
club going.
least has that cool moment when Picard just decks that guy and completely tackles him to the ground. That's pretty cool.
It's always weird when he does that.
Yeah.
Remember when he took on 3 Klingons all by himself?
Yeah. What is the
But I feel like I can't even hardly make fun of that anymore after I've seen in a 96-year-old version of him in Picard,
yeah,
like
Action Picard.
like attack a guy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember elderly action movie Picard?
Yeah.
The only thing funnier than action movie Picard is elderly action movie
Elderly
Picard,
action
who
movie
needs a
Picard.
stunt double to get up a staircase, but can't but can hit a guy with it's
Right.
amazing.
What is the hunted? Which one is that?
I don't remember right off. I'd have to look it up. In my head, I'm remembering that as being a Lex on a Trey episode, but I'm probably wrong about that.
I think that's Manhunt.
That's probably what I'm thinking that. But I love the way you said that though. Manhunt.
Because it's ridiculous. That title makes me laugh, even if that episode is bad.
Oh, it's a stupid title. I'm looking it up.
Here it
Somebody
is.
feel free to talk about this episode that we're watching right now.
Yes. What the hell is this? Roga Danar.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, this is the one that's like the high ground. I always get it confused in my head. This is the episode right before the high ground, and it's with that guy that's like the soldier.
It's part of
I
the lesson
think.
plan.
So he should be
Have
a
we
little
gotten-
bit more upset about that, just because his ethical subroutine should say, don't get involved with a patient to an extent.
Dress for success.
I guess, Brandon, but like we play real fast and loose with ethical subroutines. He
That's
basically
true.
is just a person.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean?
You know, as we've seen in First Contact, she should just be able to walk into the holodeck with whatever she wants on, apparently, because that's how apparently just projects clothes over you sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's making a big deal about nothing.
Yeah, but we talk
Dermal.
about this a lot. We cannot be consistent with the holodeck at all.
Yeah.
Dermoplastic
Dermoplastic garment.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Otherwise known as skin tight outfit to get men to watch our show.
Yes, it's got weird like support ribbing in it too and stuff.
I will say though, it was kind of a big deal the first time we got to see her with long hair actually out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because obviously she looks great, and it was fun to
Yeah.
not have the bun thing.
Fun to let your hair down a little.
Yeah, I always wanted her, as she loosened up more in season 7, to finally just have that all the time. And I know Jerry Ryan wanted that too. She's talked about that. You know what? I say that. I don't think this was the first time we saw that. Because she does it in The Killing Game. Is that before this?
I don't know. Is this season 5?
This is
yes,
5.
And I think The Killing Game is before that.
Isn't
Killing
the
Game
same
4?
Season? I just forget where it is. Or maybe that isn't 4. I think that isn't 4. But yeah, she has hair like this in The Killing Game because she's programmed to think she's in the
Yeah, that's season 4.
Mr. Roboto, JLS Super Chat, the Doctor, much like Vic Fontaine, he's not a standard. You mean a standard hologram? I don't know what that means. Also, the EMH is millions of doctors in one.
Starfleet's finest. He just said
That's
something.
dumb. That's dumb. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know
I'll
how
talk about why that's
synthahol
dumb.
works.
He just
What is
said
synthahol? Is it near beer or is it alcohol without the
It just depends on who's writing.
cirrhosis
Sorry,
of
go
the
ahead,
liver?
Jordan.
What
He
is
said
it?
He said he thought that maybe one of his friends put 7 Up to the asking him out on a date. 7 would never go for that. Like, if you know anything about
Yeah, that
7,
doesn't make any sense.
she's not gonna do that. She'd be like, "What are your intentions, crewman?"
Like, what's in it for me?
Yeah, like this is
What could you
sense.
offer? She doesn't want stuff. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
This guy.
You ever want your nanoprobes back? You'll go out with
Garcon.
this crewman. Are you gonna say something about the doctors?
Oh, we already did it.
Oh.
Do you like his turtleneck?
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. It's less that it's a turtleneck and more just like the color and the flashiness of it.
Yeah, the flashiness.
It's kind of goofy.
Lobsters, Jesus.
Those are gigantic.
So we do some kind of typical sitcom humor in this, but Jerry Ryan is so good at it, it makes me wish she'd been in a sitcom because I think she would have been great. We're about to get this great bit where she picks up the lobster and just breaks it in half with her bare hands, and it's great. The kind of pratfall comedy in this episode works for me. I don't know. The timing is good. The setup and payoff is good. Look at that. It's very funny.
Wait, is this man a real person? I don't even. Or did
Yes.
they? Or is he okay, this isn't like a training wheels practice
No, this is
run.
the guy.
Okay,
from
this is
the,
a real deal.
No, because they just had him say that he thought his friends were setting him up to.
What is
to be on
his
the stage.
position?
He works in engineering or something. I
Wait,
think.
weren't you gonna say why it was bad? Like,
Adam already did it. We were just talking about how nobody knows what synthahol is.
Yeah.
It shouldn't impair anything based on what it initially was. And then we see people in TNG get drunk on it, so then that's confusing. And then it's like, well, if you can get drunk on it, then why is it better than alcohol?
And I thought it was the thing that was like it was alcohol with all the fun parts, but not the bad stuff like hangovers and but
Oh,
you know,
interesting.
cirrhosis.
So, like,
I always
it
interpreted
sort
it
of
like
impairs
that.
you, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like the good part of alcohol, but not like the bad side effects. But I don't know. I don't think they know. No one knows.
Let's just Sim, I mean, 7 is so much more than the way they tried to sell her, but the way they tried to sell her is kind of bonkers, and yet it worked.
It did
so
improve the ratings of this show.
No, well, not just that, but I mean, it was a huge phenomenon.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that summer that we were advertising her getting into the second part of Scorpion. It was just a big deal. It seemed like, from my perspective as a kid, it was the thing everybody was talking about with TV. And this might just be my naive, like 10, 12-year-old self, Adam, but I remembered it being a lot less about how attractive she was and a lot more about just getting a bored character in Star Trek.
I remember them talking. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember it being in like my. I remember learning about it because my dad was reading the newspaper one morning at breakfast, and he showed me the article about it or
I
whatever.
felt like you couldn't get around it on TV. Like,
Yeah.
it was so much advertising for that. But yeah, see, Adam, he gets his arm broken and then he has to go sick bay.
I tore a ligament, but yeah, that's I like the doctor just there.
See, I don't
going to
remember
be-
seeing the advertising because I never watched UPN except when it was Voyager. So I never really saw that.
My dad got on a Voyager kick, I want to say probably over that summer when the reruns were on a lot.
Yeah. Ah.
And we were playing catch up. Like, I don't think we were watching the show at all until this happened. Until 7 came on. But yeah, you know, everybody, of course, at this point, I would argue, makes a bigger deal out of first female captain and all of that. And, like, if you look into it, I mean, you know, you can't trust anything because we don't know the real numbers, but Netflix has made a big deal out of how popular Voyager has been for them, and it shows up on, like, you know, top 10 lists of stuff people are watching. And I think if that's true, it has as much or more to do with 7 of 9 as it does, you know, Janeway and, you know, history making and all of that. Like, I think the nostalgia for this show is a lot more 7 of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have made a good couple on the show, honestly.
No, it's preposterous they didn't run with that.
Yeah, I mean, he has a short little line that says, "We're not pursuing a romantic interest," but I think that should have been like the start of a thing, right?
You don't
there.
remember how this episode ends. I mean, they're acting like they're gonna continue with it and it'll be a thing later on, because they're doing again that kind of sitcom thing where like they set him up to tell her about it. He gets cold feet. He doesn't say anything. Anytime that happens in TV, you expect them to get together later. We do somewhat similar things with B'Elanna and Tom earlier in the show, where it's clear that they're attracted to each other, but we don't do anything about it for a long time, and then we finally put them together. That is clearly what this is setting up, and then does not go there.
I don't think about this episode that often.
Mr. Roboto, what about Hugh? I don't know.
He means like we got a board character of Hugh, but it wasn't like a really a recurring character though.
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is the fans at the time made a big deal out of getting to have a regular board character as one of the crew, yeah. Stephen Murphy, and if you started with season 4, it probably wouldn't be too confusing. And you would do that thing that I always did when I would read later Spawn stuff, not reading the earlier stuff, assuming that it was always at that quality. Because, yeah, when you get into season 4, it feels like it's finally found its footing in a way that it never fully did before that.
Yeah.
It takes longer than... I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in 3, but it takes longer than TNG did. And 4 is also a good place to start because it's a little arcier. And it feels like it's actually on its way someplace.
Yeah. I mean, they had some arcs in the early seasons, but they weren't very compelling. The Kazon Mudge, Kala, all that stuff.
Yeah, and Busted Sim, we've talked about this before, but the whole Chakotay and Seven thing at the end is exactly the same thing we did with Worf and Deanna, where it comes completely out of left field and nowhere.
Yeah.
It's worse here because they're also treated like almost soulmates, because they get together and are married and then die before they get back to the Alpha Quadrant.
Right.
Which is the main reason that Janeway, in the most unethical way
bad
possible,
Janeway.
goes back in time and resets everything, but doesn't bother to go back far enough to save all those other crew members who died throughout the show.
Liked.
I remember cups like that.
Do you put candles in them? Because that was what they look like. They're
What
for.
are those things?
They're
Yeah, they
aluminum
look like you bought them
cups.
from
Anodized
Pure
aluminum
One.
cups. I have several. Never noticed that.
You have some of those cups?
Mm-hmm.
Cinegraphic, I don't think there's safety protocols for synthahol, but that makes as much sense as anything else.
I should know. Remember, I said I was the Synthahol King. That was my rank in the club. Yeah. Prey. That's another Voyager episode. Prey and Hunter.
This is one of those episodes. Well, I say one of those episodes. This doesn't happen a lot. You have two comedic, or at least somewhat comedic, through lines happening at the same time, where your A and your B story are both comedic. And more often in comedy episodes, well, no, we do that in DS9 some too, but more often you'll just have kind of like, one big story, and you don't really have a B story in a lot of comedy Star Trek episodes. But I guess we have done both. I'm trying to think. That episode with where Jake and Nog are going after the baseball card is kind of like that.
Treachery, Faith, and the Great River.
I almost said that, but I wasn't sure if I was right about it. But here you've got one that is actually pretty funny. All the Seven stuff works, and also dramatic enough, and I'm captivated enough in these characters. And then the other one I just don't care about. It's not terrible. It's just it's not funny when they think it's funny.
Yeah.
Again, the payoff at the end is okay. But it's that again, it's sitcom-y. It's that thing at the end where it turns out that there actually wasn't a conflict, and the main ambassador guy, played by Alfred from Birds of Prey, would have been fine with this guy partaking in some of this stuff, and so Neelix didn't have anything to worry about all along.
Actually, I'm wrong. I just remembered that's in the cards that you're talking about with Nog.
There you go. See, I
Treachery,
thought
Faith, and the Great River is the good Wei-Yun, and then Captain Sisko's desk gets taken away and stuff.
I thought I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the cards is the one with the guy.
Soulless Minions of Orthodoxy.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's got the chamber that keeps your molecules happy or whatever.
Yeah, Dr. Geiger. That's the I remember.
His name was Geiger.
Like H.R. Geiger.
Of course it was.
Uh-oh. Wait, is
this
he an
is
ensign
also
right
a
now?
sitcom plot, but handled better. How many episodes of sitcoms, especially in the 90s, have you seen where it's like, oh, we're making a bet on a thing. Hey, how dare you? You're betting on me. Like, you're taking advantage of me. It's a sitcom plot.
Yeah, it's like a thing of the night. Yeah.
That could have been a Frasier episode or a Friends
That's a
episode.
Frasier thing, yeah.
Yeah, Busted Sim, this is after 30 days.
I thought she punched him or something. Does she not punch
Paris
him?
is still an ensign.
Oh, that's how he winds up on the floor.
Yeah.
Apparently, it does get you drunk.
No, because if she punched him, then you've got the potential, like, in International Incident. We do that in at least one other episode with her. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Brandon?
I was just going to say, by the fact that 7 left in a huff, that means Paris actually won.
See, they said that he can't metabolize the synthahol. Apparently, we can, so it doesn't get you drunk. I don't know.
But there are episodes where it does, and I think for humans. I don't think it's just it reacts weird to aliens.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Voyager's really good at retconning things.
Yeah.
In really poor ways. But you got to keep in mind that part of that is because some of these writers and producers are already burnt out and have been doing this too long. Because we think of these shows as being, DS9, Voyager, TNG as being 7-season shows. For a lot of the people working on these shows, it becomes 17 seasons of television.
Right.
And you look at most shows that go on that long, ignoring sitcoms and things. Just think of this era of Star Trek as, 87 to 2005, like how many years that is. And if it was one show, think about any other narrative season of television. If it lasted that long, if it stayed good, and if it didn't start accidentally contradicting itself in dumb ways or retconning things or having a lot of like flashbacks that retroactively create stupid ideas that don't make sense to have ever been there, that's how you get your Smallvilles and your Arrows and your nearly everything that ever came out on the CW, right? That lasted, longer than a few years.
Right.
So
or you get these shows, you get like these shows. It's
remarkable that it wound up as good as it did overall.
Right. It's like you got to think of it like an ER or something like that, or one of these kind of shows that was on for ever and stuff, you know.
But that's easier because those are so much more episodic. I guess Star Trek is too, but
And that would be hard because it doesn't have its own. Yeah, it doesn't have its own world. It's just supposed to be the normal world and stuff.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to keep track of all the crap you made up and stuff overall.
And I never watched that, but like, didn't that kind of filter a lot of characters in and out?
Yes, they did. They had by the end they didn't have a single character that was on the show from like the beginning except for like a nurse. I'm pretty sure.
Most hospital dramas and courtroom dramas and police dramas are that way.
Yeah.
Mr. Roboto, $5 super chat. Do we know if the Dominion was consumed? Age synthahol might get you drunk. I don't know. I mean, we never talk about that. I don't know what you mean by consumed. Sorry, man.
Consumed.
I mean, they were defeated at the end of DS9 and disbanded because the founders all went back to the founder pool.
Wonder what happened to all the Jem'Hadar.
I don't know what happens to everybody after that.
They all die. What happened to the Vorta?
And you could easily do a story where somebody swoops in and picks them up and starts some other scary
It's like
thing.
a power vacuum, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back. Stephen Murphy, I'm glad he and Amber Crombie came back for another episode. It's kind of a waste for him to only be in the beginning and end. Where else did he show up?
I don't remember. I have time.
I'm sure when you tell me, I'll be like, oh, that's right, but it's not coming to me right away. I thought this was his only appearance.
His hair's a little messed up.
I mean, that's intentional.
Oh, he was in Spirit Folk.
Oh, yes.
He was in Spirit Folk.
Spirit Folk.
What are the...
So
Star Trek got not... They got not one but two Irish stereotypes going.
That's true. So this is a pretty standard TNG move to have your last scene where you don't realize that you're actually in a holodeck recreation. I think it's pretty good here.
Hollow Pursuits, yeah.
I like it here. Well, I like it there too, actually.
Her home in Cargo Bay.
Well, yes. I say I like it here. I think it's kind of weird that he feels the need to, like, because it doesn't even seem like he's practicing. It's like he just wants to experience this because he knows he's gonna be kind of cowardly about it and not actually tell her how he feels. So that gets... No, you know what? I don't like it, actually.
This is like a Niles Daphne thing.
It absolutely is.
Oh, yeah.
Which doesn't really work on Star Trek.
I like the way the scene is written, and I like the way... Obviously, the actors are playing it. And that's why I'm saying I've always liked that scene. And it's good in that it got me. I did not expect that. But then it's kind of teasing the audience too much. I wouldn't mind as much if they actually put them together like they should have, because they make a wonderful case for them as a couple in this. They've got wonderful chemistry.
Yeah.
Mr. Roboto, I don't know why the Dominion would have been consumed by the Borg, because we don't even know how much of a collective we have after Endgame. And they're not in the Gamma Quadrant?
Yeah.
Although, by the end of Voyager, we find out that they've got hubs, like, everywhere, so I don't know why they're not in the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah.
Don't they have those at, like, every corner of the galaxy?
At least in the Star Trek Star Charts book, it basically just shows them a big swath from the Delta Quadrant to the Beta Quadrant, basically, and stuff. And that's kind of how that network works. But I don't know if you can really take it that literally or not.
Or maybe the idea was that he was practicing, and then she doesn't say what he's hoping she'll say, so he just gets cold feet.
Yeah.
That's pretty typical TV
Again,
stuff.
Niles Daphne thing.
Yeah.
That's a show I'd like to revisit, Frasier.
It's on.
Yeah, you have to stop at a certain point because it drops massively in quality after 5 or 6. I forget where. There's a place where it just turns into a shadow of its former self. It's really sad.
We'll always have Paris.
Well, Sandrine's is in Marseille, so you'll always have Marseille.
Mm.
I think it's in Marseille. I can't remember.
I believe it is, yes.
Tom says he just got friend zoned. Not really though, because he didn't. She doesn't know what his intentions are, like.
Right.
And he's been giving her social lessons and knows that she's not gonna pick up on cues. So he should just give her more of a hint. Like, it's kind of a sad ending for not enough of a reason. And again, I like this one a lot, but that's the rough bit about it, is that it feels kind of obligatory in that, just to keep you guessing and coming back to watch. That is one of the nice things about having more streaming television these days, is that we don't have to do those kind of hooks to keep people hanging on as much. But it's a lovely last scene. Yeah, that's what I always just like watching. Like, I don't know that it's one of the best episodes of that show or anything.
You like
but
to watch over it?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Jason.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do our ratings, guys. We always rate on a scale of 0 to 4. The Superhero Rewind scale. 0 is that is an hour of my time I'll never get back, and a 4 is let's all go get drunk on Sit the Hall. That was so good. And now we're going to start with Jason.
0 is Power Rangers, a Turbo movie.
True.
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and 4 is Batman Begins.
That too. Mm-hmm. Would anybody else like to make up a metaphor? No? Good. Let's move on. Jason, would you like to rate first? Guys, feel free to rate in the comments. They're live, and I will make sure to read all the ratings that I see. You can do decimal points anywhere in between. And Jason's going to start us off. Go ahead, sir.
I think I give this probably like a 3.
It's your favorite episode of Voyager, and you gave it a 3.
Ouch.
So Voyager sucks then.
Yeah, I was trying to like, I didn't want to give it like I wanted to give it either a 3 or a 3.5, like a 3.5. But I don't really know.
Did you find yourself feeling differently about it on this viewing?
There's some things I don't like about it.
Like what?
I don't like the B story, and the ending is pretty good. But I also there's a couple things that I don't like about the 7 to 9 story, about like how she like reacts to stuff in the episode.
We didn't talk about Paris at all. McNeil's really fun in that episode.
Yeah.
He's always good in those kind of comedy things. And he also could have been the lead in his own sitcom, I think.
The ambassador of
easily.
humor.
The ambassador of humor. Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. In Voyager, holograms became real. It's interesting. Well, I mean, you have the Doctor who has a mobile emitter and is able to physically be able to come alive. I would argue that we already had some holograms before this that if we had kept them around longer would have been just like the Doctor, because we already had self-aware holograms, right? And that's why you're able to get away with that from the very beginning, as well as you do, because you already had that with Minuet, but even more so Moriarty. So yeah, Brandon, what's your rating?
I'm actually going to give this one a 3.75.
Oh wow!
I never think of this episode. I never come back to it, but it is a really good one. And since you mentioned it, I've never really thought about it more than just a one-off episode. But I do wish they'd gone with it and kept with it, because it would have been a fun dynamic. I mean, when they get the Doctor and Seven together for episodes that they had together, they are pretty fun. Like, I'm remembering the one where they switch bodies,
which is awful.
I just think it's a funny concept.
But it's especially awful at that point, because that's the place where they should be dating, or they should tell us why they're not. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, doing that kind of throwaway nonsense at that point was a huge mistake.
But anyway, this one gets a 3.75 for me.
Adam.
I'll give it a 3. It's I enjoy it. It's not one of my favorite episodes, but I did enjoy the Dr. Seven dynamic in this episode. It would have been fun to see where that went, like you said. If they had done that.
Yeah. I think I'm also just too much of a sucker for music in Star Trek when it's handled well. Those are both really good singers. And anyway, yeah, I'm a 3 as well on this viewing. It might have been higher on another viewing, but suddenly I found myself being more critical.
We watched that one. I watched that with you not that long ago. I don't remember.
Oh, we did end up watching that when we were doing our. That was one I picked, trying to see if you'd get it from the teaser, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. That's actually how this club started.
Oh yeah.
Adam and I were doing that on Mondays.
I forgot that's how we did that too.
That's how we did that. Yeah, he'd pick an episode, and I would have to guess it at the teaser, and then I would pick an episode, and he'd do the same thing. And that's why we were watching 2 episodes for the longest time in this club. But we've gone down to trying to keep this more to a couple hours. Let's see. Steve Murphy gives this episode a 3. Jimmy77 a 3. Matthew Bates a 3. Tom a 3.5. Busted Sim 2.2. I wasn't really paying attention. Cinematographic hard 2 out of 4. This episode was strange but not terrible. Mercer Create 2.8666. Busted Sim, although Jerry Ryan's got the pipes, so that brings it up to a 2.7.
So it was 2 2/3, but then.
but then you went higher because she's got a lovely voice. Yes, indeed. All right, well, that's going to do it for us this evening. Everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in and hanging out with us on Star Trek Club. Next time, we're going to watch 2 episodes instead of doing a big trivia game, so look forward to that.
Just alternating then?
At least at the moment, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
We might do a couple in a row where we do trivia and an episode, but I want to keep getting some of these episodes knocked down, and we've got so much on the board right now. I want to do 2 next time, and probably 2 singles or a 2-parter if it comes up initially. I'll put everything on the board next time probably and see if a 2-parter comes up at the beginning. In the meantime, hope you guys had a good time, and we'll see you again on Monday. I'm Captain Logan. That was Brandy Grimm.
It was, as always.
And
that was me.
Guest starring Jason, and also we had Adam Meredith as Adam Meredith.
Yeah, TV's Adam Meredith.
The guest star gets the entire billing.
Oh yeah, this episode is the guest star is me, and the series is Geek Evolution, and the season is not a season; it's episode 25.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Episode,
you got it.
Season 1.
Season 1. All right, we'll see you later, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Why are we whispering?
We don't want it to do the thing.